Hey guys, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Philosophy. I hope you guys are having an awesome holiday season and you're getting some well-deserved rest. Today's video is a net worth update for December 2021, and we're gonna just go through, as usual, all of my numbers, how they relate to the numbers that I had in November 2021, and we're gonna review some of my life changes and things that are going on in my life in December. So let's go ahead and jump in. Just to recap, from November 2021, my net worth was right around $145,350. So let's break down the numbers for December, starting with the equity that I have in the 2 condos in Calgary that I own. Not 4, 2. So that equity has increased to about $81,500. This is up about $500 from November, and this pretty much increases the same rate every month. The DCPP that I held with Sun Life previously, I am in the process of transferring that money into my TD account just to have everything in the same spot. The balance of that account as of December was $6,400. Once that money hits, I will be moving that into the TDE series funds. So from November 2021, the increase in my DCPP is just about $150, and that is just from market gains. In the TD TFSA that I have, that currently is invested in just one stock called CLO Waste Solutions, that total amount is about $1,045. And this is down about $300 from the previous month. And my plan for this, if you haven't seen my other videos, is just to let it sit, hopefully for the next year or so, and possibly break even, maybe even make a little bit of money. Next up is my TD Rrsp, and this is currently at a balance of $48,717, and this works out to an increase of $1,000 from November 2021. This is all from market gains. I haven't put any money into this account in probably the last year, so I've seen quite an increase in terms of market gains in the last year, right around 28 to 30%, which has been really, really awesome. And I also have cash savings of about $4,000. This is for school when I start in January. And finally, my car is valued at $5,000. So this brings a total to $146,662. This is kind of like a rounded number. I'll put the actual figures up on the screen for you guys. You can see that it is an increase from November 2021 of about $1,300. So I didn't hit the $150,000 goal that I kind of thought I might hit by the end of the year, but I think that that's okay because I'm still quite a ways ahead of where I thought I would be. So I'm pretty proud of myself for getting this far this year, and going into 2022, a lot is changing. I'm going to be, for the first time ever, drawing down my portfolio to pay for school. And I'm gonna go through a few other things that are changing in my life and some of the things related to money as well. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up right now. So the first thing is, if you guys have seen my previous videos, I did mention that I was gonna be taking out about $10,000 out of my RRSPs for school in 2022. I have decided to change that because I thought that taking money out of my RRSP maybe wasn't really the best thing to do long-term, missing out on all that compound interest for one thing. And then lo and behold, I got a kind of advertisement from TD Bank that said that I could get a line of credit at a very low interest rate of 1.99% for an entire year. So I decided to give my bank a call and see if I could do something like a $10,000 loan and then just pay it off monthly. So that is what I have decided to do. I did take a $10,000 line of credit loan, and at 1.99%, it's pretty good. I think it's a lot better than going down the road of taking money out of my RRSP. Another thing that I think I'm going to try in 2022 is to do a no spend year. And I have some specific things that I've picked out to really challenge myself to not spend money on in 2022. The items that I'm really going to try to limit myself in spending money towards is clothing is number one, and shoes. These are probably the biggest things that I spent money on that were sort of frivolous type of expenditures in 2021. And I basically replaced my entire wardrobe by going to Goodwill or Value Village and buying some things on Poshmark. So I did thrift the majority of the clothing that I bought, but I still ended up spending probably over $1,000 on clothing. I'm going to try and not spend a single dollar on clothing unless it's to replace something that has actually deteriorated to the point where I can't wear it anymore. Another thing I would like to not spend any money on in 2022 is home decor. I don't spend a ton of money in this area, but there has been a few purchases in the last year or so that weren't really necessary, and I think I could really save a lot of money by cutting this out completely for the next year. The last thing is I'm going to be limiting takeout and going to restaurants to just once a month. instead of kind of doing it whimsically and whenever I feel like it, I'm going to make sure that I'm really mindful about where I'm going out to eat or where I'm ordering takeout from, specifically with supporting local businesses. This shouldn't be too hard because I don't eat out a whole lot anyway. And just something to mention about the no spend year, I have decided to not include travel in this. Travel is still very important to me, so when I'm out and traveling and kind of eating out and doing things like that, it doesn't count in my no spend year. I'm mainly trying to not spend money on clothing and shoes and home decor and items that are just not really worth it, or kind of more impulse buy type of items. So I also wanted to talk to you guys about applying for employment insurance. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to talk about this a whole lot because I don't know, for me, being in a position where I have a pretty substantial net worth, I have a little bit of a nest egg to fall back on, I kind of felt like it wasn't the right thing to do to apply for EI, which seems kind of ridiculous because the situation I was in with my previous job, they basically changed the entire structure of how we got paid, and they completely changed how we actually go about work. I used to work in sales, so we had a pretty substantial quota to begin with, but it essentially got doubled in this new fiscal year type of thing. So I did feel like I had a case to go and get employment insurance for the first time. I've never applied for it before, although I have been laid off in the past. So I kind of felt like maybe this was a good time to apply for it and see if maybe I could get a little bit of government assistance in the couple of months that I was going to be unemployed. Over a month and I still haven't heard back from them, but I'm hoping that I get something and then I could at least cushion some of my savings for 2022 when I am in school. Another thing I wanted to mention, if you've seen my other videos, is that travel is a pretty big, important thing in my life, and I wasn't really sure if I should be prioritizing that with me not having a job, but I did have a bit of savings set aside to be able to go back home to Ottawa, which is where I'm from, and to go to Banff. And I think I mentioned this maybe in my last video, looking forward to these trips. And being able to see family and friends that I haven't seen in a long time because of COVID was really, really awesome, and I think well worth the money spent. And then the last thing on this list is I've just been studying for school, looking forward to starting in January and getting some of the theory type of things under my belt, just so I have some kind of reference while I'm in class to kind of fall back on and have some familiarity with the actual content. So I'm really looking forward to 2022. If you haven't seen my 2022 wrap-up video, I will link it down below. And the biggest thing for me that's going to be changing is that obviously I don't have an income in 2022, and I'm going to be taking on a pretty substantial amount of debt. My student loans are about $60,000, and then $10,000 for the line of credit loan that I'm taking out as well. So this effectively is cutting my net worth in half. I'd love it if you guys join me for 2022 and see how this whole drawing down my portfolio goes, and realistically how my future is going to look by chasing a completely different career in a completely different industry. Like, just could not be further from what I was doing before. And as usual, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and all the support you give me, all the comments you guys leave me below. I love reading them and I love interacting with you guys. And I hope that you guys are having an awesome holiday season and you're looking forward to 2022. Maybe we can actually have some better non-COVID times, please, in 2022, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video.